It's the end of the 3-year Smash DLC saga. Now that Sora has been revealed as the final DLC character, we say goodbye to the excitement, theories, and hyping up the next Smash reveal, to now just waiting on the next Smash game on the Switch 2 or whatever. But as we let Sakurai and his team get some well-deserved rest, I thought it would be fun to take a look back and answer the question, what if? Sometime in the negotiation rooms, there was a decision made about which character would represent each specific franchise. So we're gonna look at each of the DLC characters from Smash Ultimate and answer the question, who else could it have been? So I'll let the Smash announcer guy take it away with the countdown this time. In
3, 2, 1, go!
First revealed at the 2018 Game Awards, we have Joker. Joker is the main player character from Persona 5 and is the leader of the Phantom Thieves of Heart, a rebellious heist group looking to change society for the better. Now, even though Joker's kind of the modern face of the Persona series, the other face I easily see as often is Morgana. Morgana is this cat-like being who seeks out to find his true origins and regain his true form. Morgana could definitely work into a Smash setting and fits into the aesthetics seamlessly. And even though most people build Morgana in Persona 5 to be more of a healer, I'm sure Sakurai could have figured something out. I mean, look at Isabelle. Revealed during E3 2019, we now have Hero. Hero was a general amalgamation of all the protagonists within the Dragon Quest series, and honestly, I'm not a huge Dragon Quest fan, so this reveal kind of flew over my head. But even as a non-Dragon Quest fan, there is one representative that I would recognize in a heartbeat, and that's Slime. Slimes are a recurring early game enemy from practically every Dragon Quest game, and has kind of become a series mascot, even spawning a few spin-off games. So, despite the slime having nothing too notable in the main series of games, its moveset can pull heavily from the spin-off games like Rocket Slime on Nintendo DS. Also revealed at E3 2019, and so much more hyped, is Banjo and Kazooie. This duo are the playable protagonists of the Banjo Kazooie series, but I've also kind of seen them as representatives of the publisher Rare and all the games they made during the N64 era. If I had to pick another Rare representative, it would actually be Conker. But if I'm sticking strictly to the Banjo series, then I gotta go with Gruntilda. Gruntilda is the main antagonist of the Banjo series, and as a witch, Gruntilda has access to a wide assortment of magical abilities, which lends itself perfectly to the Smash series. Additionally, her inclusion would answer both calls from fans for more female and antagonist representation. Jumping to the Nintendo Direct on September 4th, 2019, we have the reveal of Terry Bogard. Terry is the main protagonist of the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury games, being playable in all iterations. I've played Terry in a game before, but honestly I forgot which game I actually played, since I interchange Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, and SNK to mean the same thing in my head. But in the very faded memories of the games that I have, there are only 2 other characters that really stick out. And we all know why Mai Shiranui wasn't chosen, so that defaults me to replace Terry with Iori Yagami. His design is just instantly recognizable and iconic, which to me justifies making him the perfect fit to represent the King of Fighters series in Smash. Finishing off Fighters Pass 1, in January 2020 we have Byleth. Byleth is a playable avatar character in the latest main series Fire Emblem game, Three Houses. Despite the praise of the game, in regards to Smash, we were Fire Emblemed out. So the initial reveal was met with mixed reception, to say the least. But what would have helped was to pick a character that would feel completely different from the 7 other Fire Emblem representatives. And to me, that would have been Edelgard. Edelgard is hands down the most popular character from Three Houses and would have been easily differentiated from the other Fire Emblem characters. Her main weapon is actually a large and heavy axe, rather than just being another swordsman, which allows for a more big bruiser type playstyle like DDD or even Ganondorf. On March 26, 2020, it was announced that an ARMS character was the next DLC fighter, and speculation went crazy. But the 2 characters that everyone kept leaning towards were Min Min and Twintel. Min Min was eventually confirmed to be the playable character on June 29th, which in retrospect makes a huge amount of sense since she was clearly the most popular character in ARMS and had the most unique moveset of all the characters, with her dragon arm and ability to kick. However, Twintel would have honestly been just as hype if she made it in. Twintel is a movie star in the world of ARMS, with the ability to slow down time, which would have been a pretty interesting mechanic in Smash, especially for a long distance character. Just over a year ago, on October 1st, 2020, Steve from Minecraft was announced as the next DLC fighter. I still remember all the leaks that included Steve's eventual inclusion, but to see people's reactions once it was confirmed felt like a moment in gaming history. Now, to my knowledge, Minecraft doesn't really have a long list of other mascots, so I ultimately went with Creeper. Creepers are hostile mobs that sneak up on you and explode. Now, while this really is its main method of attack, in order to fill out the rest of its moveset, I can see the Creeper being just a stand-in for having all the abilities of multiple mobs, all put into one character, sort of like Mr. Game & Watch. Moving on to the Game Awards in 2020, we got the announcement of Sephiroth. For the few who don't know, Sephiroth is the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII, opposite of Cloud Strife. Though his inclusion makes perfect sense in terms of his place as a video game icon, I think if it wasn't Sephiroth, it would be nice to represent another entry in the Final Fantasy franchise. After 7, I would argue that Final Fantasy X was the next major stepping stone in the series, and thus, my pick for the next DLC replacement would be Yuna. Her ability to summon would be a unique and honestly super fun gameplay style. But if they wanted, Yuna also could have many potential gameplay styles due to the various forms she has in the sequel, Final Fantasy X-2. Finally, we're in the year 2021, where in the February Direct, Pyra and Mythra were announced as the next DLC fighters. This duo from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 are weaponized lifeforms who are linked to their driver, Rex. What surprised most was that the DLC characters chosen from this franchise were these two weapon ladies with the absence of Rex himself, whereas most people believed it would be a Rex and Pyra combo, kinda like Banjo and Kazooie. So, kind of an obvious pick here, but if it wasn't Pyra and Mythra, Rex would be the character that would make the most sense. Though they definitely would need to work towards making him feel super different from all the other JRPG swordsmen. Just a few months ago, we got Kazuya Mishima from the Tekken series. Kazuya is one of the main characters from the series, and eventually becomes one of its main antagonists. When Kazuya was announced, it didn't seem like there was much of a big reaction from either fandom. I guess because it just made too much sense? But when thinking about Tekken, I think most people have a different face in mind. And that face is Kazuya's father, Heihachi Mishima. I wonder if they chose not to pick Heihachi to avoid comparison to PlayStation All-Stars, where he was actually playable. But I still think if Smash is a gathering of the most iconic characters in gaming history, Heihachi is a must in my opinion. Finishing off our DLC journey on October 5th, 2021, we have Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I still can't believe they navigated this legal nightmare, but regardless, he's finally here. Not gonna lie, I cried a little. And even though we still have to wait 3 days to even play as him, I wonder who else would have represented the Kingdom Hearts franchise. There's no way Disney's gonna let any of their original IP get beat up by Mario and crew, so it's definitely gotta be a character that originated from Kingdom Hearts. And rather than Roxas, I'm actually gonna opt for Riku to be playable instead. Riku makes the second most playable appearances in the Kingdom Hearts franchise after Sora, and could have access to the iconic organization cloak as an alternate costume. And with that, all I have to say is thank you so much, Sakurai, and everyone who worked on the most ambitious crossover in gaming history. As cool as it would be to continue getting more content, go ahead and get that much needed rest.